Hello, Ezemy one, and welcome back to Sudokovania 2 Lineage of Logic. I'm your usual everyday time puzzling white girl, Ezemy Jika, and today we are starting Boss 2 Big Little Lines. You scoop up the power cell and immediately hear a shout of surprise. You've been so focused on your objective that you'd failed to notice that the nearby cage was occupied. 7 or 8 people fill the bathroom-sized cage, and one of them immediately calls out to you for help. The cries, louder than any noise you've made, echo in the cavernous dungeon as you approach the prisoners. They shush the noisy fellow, but an older man with a badge pinned to his jacket grabs your arm. "There's a monster," he rasps. "A giant bull. I heard him call it the little... I heard him call it Little Killer, but it ain't little at all. It had Desmond just now and it'll be coming for you, but it only moves diagonally. Stay out of its way." A crash, not distant enough, interrupts the advice, and you turn to see what could only be Little Killer itself, recovering from careening into the wall. Its eyes lock into yours as it paces away, trying to find a good angle, and you dash for cover. Oh boy, Little Killers. We have normal 1 to 9 Sudoku. We've got our consecutive dash cloak, which are white crop keys, and we have Little Killer clues. Digits on an indicated diagonal sum to the number at the impact end of the diagonal in the direction indicated by the arrows. These digits may repeat if allowed by Sudoku. So, these are similar to killer cages, but instead of being inside the grid, they're outside the grid, and they sum the digits in the given diagonal. So, for example, these 4 digits will sum to this 8. And this diagonal will sum to 33. Where to start? Here, these 2 digits sum to 15, which means they are 6 through 9. They could be 6, 9, or 7, 8. These 3 digits sum to 8, which can only be 1, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 5. Now, for these 2 digits to be consecutive, this would have to be at most... well, this sum is at most 5, so this has to be 6, 9, and these have to be 1 and 2. Which means this has to be either 2 or 3, this has to be 3 or 4, this has to be 4 or 5. They have to strictly increase, because if this is a 2 and then this is a 1, what's this digit? Also a 2? That doesn't work. So 4 digits that sum to 8 doesn't seem like it's possible, but because these digits are outside of the same box, they can repeat. So in fact, this could be 1, 1, 2, 1. But that only adds up to 5. I can do math, I swear. 14 has to be either 5, 9 or 6, 8. This one can't be 5, 6, which means this can't be 8, 9. So they have to be 6, 8, or 5, 9. 37 in 5 cells. Let's see, that could be 17, 17, which would be 34, which gives us a little bit more leeway. But these consecutive dashes might constrain that a little bit. Right, this digit has to be, if these are 7 and 8, the least that this digit can be is like 8, 7, 6. So that'd be 17, 17, 6, which would add up to 40. So we have to do something slightly less than the maximum. In fact, we have to do something exactly 3 less than the maximum, which could be reducing each of these by 1, or it could be reducing one of these by 3, or like one of them by 2. I don't know. It's not especially constrained, it would seem. These dashes right in the corners, that's pretty good. That's a really good flavor. I like that a lot. Because like as he's charging into the way, you dash at the last second and let him slam into the wall. I like that a lot. That's really good. So, 27 in 5 cells. That's not very constrained. I feel like this 37 has to be the first place we look. Let's look at these eights, these diagonals, because this diagonal is going to have to be pretty large. The maximum is 43. So that's only a degree of 5. 5 degrees of freedom. Um, and these are very small digits, so they're probably going to be rather constrained by what comes on the end. So this digit, the maximum of this digit, if we minimize this, so this could be 4, this could be 1 and 2. So that's 4, 1, 2 is 7. So this is at most 5, which means this is at most 6. Um, this chain has to add up to 8. This is at most 1. This is at most 3. So this is at most 4, which means this is at most 4, which means this is at most 5. So we have 5 here and a 6 here. Then what's our maximum sum? 38. So that means we have exactly 1 degree of freedom if we maximize both ends of this chain. Which means, given this chain in the middle, we cannot reduce any of these. Actually, they all have to be 9s, don't they? It has to be 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. And then this can be 6 or 5, and this can be 5 or 4. One of these has to be reduced by exactly 1. So this has to be 4 or 5. This has to be 3 or 4. There has to be, there's an 8, 6 here. This is 1, 2, 9, which would be 12. This could be 6. This could also be 6. That's what, 24? So that's still pretty, well, actually, no, this can't be 6. The minimum for this is 1, 3, and 4, which is 8, which still isn't anywhere near 33, though. On this diagonal, I think we still have a lot of freedom to get to 27. There's a 9 up here, and there's a 9 down here. These digits being 3 and 4, 3 or 4, does constrain these to 1 degree of freedom, though. So these can be 1, 1, 2, or 3. This can be 1 or 2. And the same, I think, goes for these. These can be 1, 2, or 3. Because if this is 4 and 4, then these can be 1 and 3. Which means this has to be 1, 2, or 3. And if we look at this now, the maximum is reduced to 32. This digit can be 3, 4, 7, or 8. This digit cannot be 3 or 4. 28, 29, 30, 32. So that's 5 degrees of freedom again, which means if we go to the maximum, we cannot decrease any digit 5 or more from its maximum. So this digit cannot be 1 or 2. This digit cannot be 3, I think. If this is a 3, then what's our potential sum? It's 27. Okay, so this digit does have to be at least 3. This digit cannot be a 2, but that's it. This cells in this box are 3, 4, 7, and 8. But it can't be 3 or 4 because it would break this chain. and it can't be 8 by row. So actually this is a 7. It's just a weird naked single. It can't be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 9. Huh, interesting. So that means these digits are at least 11. These 3 digits are at least 12. So that's 23, which means these digits are at most 10, which means each individual digit is at most 7. Right. Okay. So this part of the line cannot contain an 8 or a 9, and neither can these by row and column. So this here is an 8-9 pair in this box. That's a really convoluted set of logic for that, but it seems correct. Now, as for whether it's actually useful, uh, jury's still out. That it's at least 29, which is kind of interesting. Well, the minimum of the diagonal is 29, which means we can add 4 to any of the minimums to get another valid cell. Which means I don't think this can be 8, because if this is 8, it brings the minimum up to 34, right? Yes. So this cannot, in fact, be 8. And that should bring the maximum down for this line. Yes, it brings it down to 28. So that means we can reduce the maximum of each digit by at most 1. So this cannot be 5 or 7. This has to also be 8 or 9. This cannot be 1. What is it actually? 4, 4, 9, 17, 20, 28. So this has to be 8 or 7 rather than what is it? 8 or 9. So what is it? 3, 8, 4, 9, 4. It adds up to 28. So we can reduce exactly one of these digits by exactly 1. And that's still, yeah, 29 to 61. Huh. So if only one of these is minimized, and one of these is maximized, one of these is maximized, and one of these is maximized, what does that mean? Well, even if we maximize one of these and minimize one of these, um, the one that we maximized is necessarily minimized throughout the rest of its chain. But then when we maximize, the extra digit, or the one that we minimize, the extra digit that it requires can just get absorbed by the in-between section. It doesn't have to go all the way down. Is there any situation which would force both of these to become maximized? I don't know. It doesn't seem like there is. This box, this line has to contain a 1. There's where we're going. So because if it doesn't, this would be 2, 3, which would be 5, and these two would be both at least 4, which is 8, which is at it's up to 13. So this has to contain a 1, which means there can't be a 1 in this column. There's no 1s here, and there's no 1s here. So this is a 1. Putting these 2, 3, and 4. Putting a 2 here. A 4 here means that, well, we still have to increase one of these digits by 1. So that doesn't really help there. Right, and by the same hat, this section also has to contain a 1, because if it doesn't, it's 2, 3, 1, 3. No, 2, 3, 1, 3, which adds up to 9. So this has to be a 1. There has to be a 1 down here, but it could be in either of these positions. Okay, that didn't help quite as much as I was hoping it would, because it just minimizes things further. Well, these 3 digits are 5, 6, and 8. Well, I guess it's not a boss if it's not brutally difficult. This cannot be 1, 2. It cannot be 3 or 4. It can be 5, 6, or 7, or 8? No. So this needs to contain a 6, which is kind of interesting. This one, it can be 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, or 3, 4, I think. No, if it's 3, 4, then this is 5. I guess that's actually fine. I'm not gonna worry about that one then. There's an 8 up here. Um, I don't think the 8 can go on this line, because if there's an 8 on it, the minimum bumps up to 36. So there's an 8 here, and here. Right, so each minimum has, uh, each digit can be at most 4 above its minimum, I think. Right, because we can have 1, 2, 1, 2, 7. 7 is the maximum that can be on this line. And I think the 7 would have to go in this box. Well, I guess this could be 1, 2, 3, and then 1. If this is either 12 or 13. This is at least 12. This one's at least 6, which makes this 18, 27. These are at most 6, so they have to be 1 through 5. And these are at most 7, so they're 1 through 7. There's no point in pencil marking that. Well, this needs to contain a 5. This needs to contain a 4. Huh. So that kind of reduces this cell. If these are 2 and a 3, then these 2 digits are the maximum for both of these lines, which would make these all minimums, and these would have to be maximums, which does work. That is if there's a 1 right here. This cell could still be a 4, actually. If this is 4, 5, then this could be 3, 4. These two 4s don't see each other. This one could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. If this is 3, 4, 5, 6, that still works. It can't be 4, 5. It could be 6, 7, though, unfortunately. Because these digits are 1 through 7. Wait a second. This digit was minimized, which means the rest of these have to be maximized for this diagonal to work. I forgot that this one was backwards from the others. So this one has to maximize every other digit. These are 3 and 8, 8 and 9. And now this sum finally is 27. These two are minimized, which means one of these two has to be max. Wait, no, this one is maximized, which means the rest of these have to be minimized, right? Yes, these are 2 and 3, putting a 4 here, which means this has to be the 6. Yes, this has to be a 5, meaning these two digits have to be minimized. So they have to be 1 and 2 in that order. There we go. Okay. And that means these are 13. These are at least, well, they're still at least 12. So we're down to 31 as a minimum, giving us 2 degrees of freedom, which I don't think does that much more for us. These 3 digits are 3, 4, and I guess that one's the 7. This is a naked single, huh? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Yes. These 2 digits are 5 and 7. These 3 are 1, 2, not 2, 6 and 8. So there's an 8 here. And that's all the 8's placed. There's a 9 here, putting the last 9 here. That's all the 9's placed. 7 pulls 6, 7 off of this dash line. Which does mean that these can't be 1, 2, 3. If you look at 2s, no. If you look at 4s, no. If you look at 3s, well, there's a 3 here by Sudoku. These 3 digits are 4, 5, and 7. So 4 here. This digit is a 1. Okay, so that sees this 1. Interesting. These digits are 4, 5, and 7. These digits are 5, 6, and 7. Yes. These are 1, 2, 5, and 7. Oh. I think I should just focus on this diagonal now. Well, we're up to 32 minimum. Why have we gone up? Probably because of this pencil mark. I don't think this can be a 4 anymore. Yeah, if this is a 4, that brings the minimum up to 34. So this is 12 to 14. This one is 13. So if we subtract 13, that leaves 20. These digits need to add up to 20. Well, and we can erase the 9. So these digits need to add up to 11. And we have to leave out 2 or 3. These digits add up to 3 to 5, which means these digits are at most 7, which means I think they have to be 1, 2, 4. Putting a 3 here. 4, 1, and 2. Well, they are Wait, no. This is at least 3, meaning these are at most 8. So they could be 1, 2, 4, or 1, 2, 5. Or what else adds up to 8 in 3 cells? 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 4. Well, either way, they need to be less than 5. So this has to be the 4. That's a 2, 3 pair in this column. Oh, right. And if there's a 4 here, that means that it cannot also have a 5 on it. So these digits have to add up to 7. So that means they have to be 1, 2, and 1, 3 in some order. So they both have to contain a 1. Well, that's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this box, which means the rest of the digits are 5, 6, and 7. The 5, 6, 7 triple in this column now. Huh. Oh, right. There has to be a 6 here on this dot, or this diamond, this dash. So that's the 1. That's a 6. This is also 5, 6, or... Well, it can't be the 6. It has to be 5 or 7. It's what's left over. This also has to be 1 or 3. Where do the remaining 1s go? They go here, 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 and here, don't they? Great. That's a funny pattern. These digits are 2, 5, 6, and 7. There will be a 2 or a 3 here, but there's guaranteed to be a 1. Oh, there's a 5, 7 pair in this column, which means these remaining digits are 1, 3, 4, and 6. Yeah. Well, this one can't be a 1. Uh, hmm. Ah, there's a 3, 4 pair in this row now, putting a 1 here, 2 and a 1. That means these are 3 and 1. 2 and 3, 5 and 7 and 6 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 5 and 6. 6 and 5 and 6 and 7, 7, 5, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1, 5, 7, 5. 7, 4, 2. Yippee! Whoa, that's not a story. At the last moment, you dive out of the way as the gigantic bull little killer charges diagonally into the open cage behind you. You scramble to swing the heavy door and bar it closed before the beast lunges at it. The metal groans, but without room to build up speed, a little killer appears to be contained. After searching a bit, you find a pair of very nice gloves um, with enough of a grip to force open the cage containing the villagers. Following a profuse round of thanks, the man who warned you early draws. eh, Following a profuse round of thanks, the man who warned you earlier draws you aside. From his demeanor, he seems to be their leader. I'm the marshal in Roseville. Name's Givens, he whispers, or maybe his voice really is just very gravelly. Listen, there are too many guards up above, and some of my people are very skittish. I'm afraid that if we run into trouble, things could get complicated. I saw a hole in the back wall there while they were bringing us in. I think it may be another way out, but we'll need to be quiet. You got the climbing gloves! Values in a line segment sum to the value in the cell containing the attached piece of wall. Enter 4 into the boss cell. Wall. So we're climbing into the walls now? A 4. So the 4 goes down here. Boop. Climbing gloves. A wall cell near... Oh, what else does that clear? It clears that. It clears some of these. It clears something down there. And it obviously clears this new quest and the climbing gloves. Okay, so climbing gloves, a wall cell near a cell border indicates that the value in the attached line segment sum to the value in the cell. The line segment never leaves the grid containing the wall. The wall? Like the edge of the grid? Or is it just like this rectangle thing? Free the townspeople by escorting them through the sewers. This quest line is a German whisper line. Adjacent values on the line must be differ by 5 or more. So as a German whisper, it goes 4 to 9 necessarily. And then this digit has to be 1 through 4. Gosh, it's good to be back in the main grid, but it's been so long I barely remember what's going on. I think that means that this is a 9. It's basically like a sum arrow. Let's look up at our inventory. Climbing gloves. Oops. X is the sum of n, so on. Escort, a German whisper line. Okay, so we're probably gonna have to go through this area somehow and end up in here. That's a high digit. Oh, and this 7, 8 sees it, so this is a 6. Wow, that enemy didn't even do anything. If you want to see me solve it, click on the thingy up here, I guess. This has to be a 1. Right, this is a 9. These digits are 3, 4, and 6. Well, these two can't be 6 because of this box, putting a 6 here. That one's a 3, and that's a 4. Wait, no, not 3 and 4. What? 8. 3, 6, and 8. Either way, this is still the 6. But this 4 doesn't see that because it can't be a 4. I still want to get this, well, this 6 has to be adjacent to a 1. This 1 has to be adjacent to a high digit. It cannot be a 7. So the last digit on this battery, it cannot be a 1 or a 9 or a 6, 7, or 8 or a 2. It can be 3, 4, 5. That's it. It can be 3, 4, or 5. Okay. There has to be a 9 in this box here. Boop. Aha! So this digit has to be less than this one, which doesn't tell us much. These two digits sum to 9, so this has to be 4, 5, or 6. These two digits sum to this one, and that's another enemy. Huh. If you want to see me solve that, click on the thingy up here. Just get those out of the way before I forget about them later. Are there any more of these sums elsewhere? I probably shouldn't wander off, actually. I'm not going to. I want to restore the power. This sees this cell, so this cannot be 1, 8. It has to be 4, 5, or 3, 6, which is similar to this cell, which also has to be 3, 5, or 3, 6, or 4, 5. What did I say the first time? I don't even remember. It definitely wasn't the right numbers, though. I really should probably stop for the night. Well, this has to be at least 3, which doesn't really tell us anything. There has to be a 7 over here. There's a 9 down here. There's also a 9, well, here. Which means these are 1, 3, 4, or 5. 6 here. There's a 7 here. Done 9s. There's an 8 here. There's a 2 down here. It doesn't really help. There's 3 down here, which doesn't really help. There's a 9 over here. Oh wait, this 4 sees this cell, so that's 5 and 4 in this order. Not that that really does anything, I guess. These 4 cells are 1, 2, 3, 6. Ah, this has 7 and 4 here. So well, there needs to be a 4 in one of these 2 cells, because it could still be here. Scanning through the fog is so difficult. Ugh. Oh, there's a 1 here. Boop. That sees this cell. Doesn't really change anything. There's a 1 up here, which I'm not going to pencil mark. There's a 1 here, which I'm also not going to pencil mark. Well, this is greater than 3, so it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Does not help me at all. This can't be 4, because if it was 4, this would be 3, which doesn't work. Actually, if this is 5, well, actually, this could be 5 and 4, and then this is 6 and 3, so that's actually fine. These 2 digits add up to 9. That seems extremely unconstrained right now, so... Well, maybe this cell is seen by these digits, like 2 and 6. It could still be a 1 or a 3, though. In fact, there is a 1 in this column, but the 3, we don't know where it is. That's diabolical. So, because we pulled this 6 out of this cell specifically, that means there has to be a 6 in this row in this box, which pulls a 6 out of this cell. Pulling a 3 out of this cell, meaning this is 4, 5, which means this can't be 4, 5. This needs to be 6, 3. What is that? Why is there just a bird here? What? 2 and 3. This can't be 3. It needs to be 4 or 5. These 2 digits are the sum of, well, the sum of these 2 digits is this digit. Something's weird. Something weird's going on over here. This could conceivably like wander around in here before coming up here, so we don't actually know what parity these digits are. This can't be 6 anymore. This can't be 4, 5 anymore because that would break this. So this has to be 3, 6. In this order, it could be 2, 7, or it could be 1, 8. Which is not very constrained at all. This digit needs to be at least 3, but we knew that already. Can't be 4. Could be 5, 6, 8, or 9. Eee. What is this bird? What are you... Why is there a bird here? Well, these digits are 4, 5, 8. These digits are, what, 7, 4, 5, 8? Not 8, because there's an 8 here. These digits are 4, 5, 2? Yes. Well, this one can't be a 4. Well, neither of these can be 4, actually. There has to be a 4 up here, then. There has to be a 6 over here. There has to be a 6 over there. Oh, this can't be a 6 anymore, which I think means that this is indeed a 6-9 pair. So these digits have to add up to either 6 or 9. If it's 6, then these digits need to be need to be 5 or less. They can't be 3. They can't be 2, 4 in that order. I don't think there's any way to disprove that this could be a 6. These digits are 4, 5, 7, 8. Yes. This one can't be a 4. This one can't be a 7. Right. Because that has to be the 7 over there.